Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I did say that merely suspending Fergus Ewing probably wouldn't be the end of the story. It's likely to run and run, and indeed run it has. He has come out today. He's saying that the biggest mistake the SNP ever did was voting Humza Yousaf as leader. And I think even people who backed Yousaf and voted for him to be leader are possibly seeing that now. He's a very, very divisive leader. He's divided the party. He's shattered the party, really. Whereas if they'd have got Kate Forbes, she would have been more unifying. She wouldn't have been very, divisive at all. She would have coalesced the party around her and, sort of made it a whole party, a one-direction party, rather than what you have got, which is this party riven in the middle on so many different issues. All of which, it seems, are actually Green issues, not SNP issues. Certainly Kate would have had a minority government and told the Greens where to go, because they are morons. Anyway, Fergus is backing her. Obviously, she will back him. She voted to retain him within the party. And I think that if she does challenge for leadership and becomes leader, Fergus will come back to the SNP. I think while Humza Yousaf is there, that's unlikely to happen. But we will take a look at this story, see what's going on, see why Fergus feels free now to say what he likes. Well, of course he does. He's not in the party. He's a free agent. And who knows if he'll ever come back. Anyway, here goes. So, Humza Yousaf is the biggest mistake in SNP history, says Fergus Ewing as the party split emerges. Another split? I mean, how many splits has this party got? It honestly is. It's fracturing, isn't it? It's like dropping a glass. It's just... That's how this party's going. The Inverness and Nairn politician reckons Kate Forbes was better placed to lead the Nationalists as he, once again, hammered the deal with the Scottish Greens. Everyone is hammering the deal with the Scottish Greens because everyone, even within the SNP, knows that it was a mistake. It's only the leadership that are keeping the Greens there because they, quote, need the votes, as it were. They don't want to run a minority government. But it's just a joke, isn't it? Every policy the Greens have announced has been a complete failure. Anyway, picking Humza Yousaf as SNP leader is the biggest mistake in the party's history. Rebel MSP Fergus Ewing has claimed. The Nat Grandee was handed a one-week suspension on Wednesday by his colleagues after he voted with the opposition in a vote of confidence on the Circular Economy Minister, Lorna Slater. He was the only one who was prepared to say the truth, that Slater is a moron, that she doesn't deserve to be in government, and that she needs to go. He was the only one prepared to say it, but he's not the only one who feels it. You can guarantee that. Kate Forbes didn't vote against her. I think that is a very poor show. I think if Kate Forbes had voted against her, it would have been very much a different result, if you follow the drift, because I think it would have been much harder to punish two of them. And I think if Kate had gone the other way, I think a few more would have gone the other way. And it only needed about 4 or 5 to go the other way. And Lorna Slater would have been out. So I think it's a poor show from Kate Forbes in not standing up for what she truly believes. She keeps slating the Greens as well. She says the deal with the Greens is a bad thing. And yet she didn't take the opportunity to get rid of Lorna Slater. I think she should have. That was a mistake. Anyway, Mr. Ewing believes his party should have elected Kate Forbes as leader instead. He was speaking as it emerged Miss Forbes was among a group of MSPs who voted against Mr. Ewing's punishment in a further sign of splits between the left and the right of the Nationalists. Well, between the left and the extreme left, let's just say. Speaking to the Inverness Courier, Mr. Ewing said the SNP had to end its government partnership with an extreme party of the Scottish Greens. He said the experience of the Butte House Agreement had been absolutely dreadful for the SNP and indeed for the people of Scotland. They go against everything that is in any way sensible. They want to end oil, they want to end growth, they want to punish people left, right and centre, they want to remove rights and freedoms, they want to change everything for the worse. The Inverness and Nairn representative added, one of the very real sadnesses is that when we chose Humza Yousaf, and this is not personal, over Kate Forbes, we made the biggest mistake in our party's history. Were she to become the First Minister, that may well have been the lever that persuades people that an independent Scotland is a better option and the only long-term successful option for Scotland. I don't think so. It'd just be a different option. But certainly it wouldn't have been divisive. Because for all her faults, Kate Forbes is not mental. She's not insane. Mr. Ewing has refused. And the other thing, before we get into this next bit, is that she is for the widening of the A9, the dualling of the A9. And if she'd have told the Greens where to go, she'd have pushed that dualling of the A9 through, and that would have been an end of that matter. There wouldn't have been all the fighting and disagreement over that. Anyway, Mr. Ewing has refused to back down since learning of his fate on Wednesday night. He said he will continue to fight his own government on issues like the dualling of the A9 and the marine protected areas. Now, both of those, I keep saying, are Green issues, not SNP issues. So he's technically not fighting his own party. He's fighting the party of government. The Greens are the Scottish government, and it's the SNP that are backing them up. It's the SNP that are propping up a Green government, not the other way round. He may well be buoyed by the support he did receive. While Miss Forbes has insisted she is behind Mr. Yousaf, she continues to be linked with another tilt at the party leadership and was among a group of 12 MPs or MSPs who either went against the party establishment to bring Mr. Ewing or abstained, according to the Herald. I thought it was 13. I thought it was 9-4 keep him in the party, 4 abstained, and it was the rest, 48 or something like that, or 47, whatever it was, that voted against it, with 2 notable exceptions who pretended that they had other things to do. What was it? Sturgeon had, I've got an appointment somewhere, got to be somewhere else, didn't want to vote. And Humza Yousaf had the pretendy illness. Oh, look, got a cough, got to go home. And then turned up 12 hours later for FMQs, perfectly fine, thank you very much. He just didn't want to vote against Fergus Ewing because even he, bad as he is, understood it would not have looked good. They included these people who supported him. They included his sister Annabel Ewing, as well as Charles Graham, the MSP for Midlothian South, Tweedale and Lauderdale, along with Miss Forbes, and the trio all stood with Mr. Ewing when he read his statement immediately after the meeting that sealed his fate. And we've covered that statement. And if you read the subtext of that statement, it makes it quite clear what he's saying there. His other backers were former leadership contender Ash Regan, Falkirk East MSP Michelle Thompson, MSP for Cunningham North Kenny Gibson, and Jim Farley, the MSP for Perthshire South and Kinrossshire. Ivan McKee, Ruth Maguire, Ben McPherson and Stephanie Callaghan all abstained. And then it just mentioned that Humza Yousaf and Nicola Sturgeon did not attend through cowardice. 48 Nats voted for the suspension, and Mr. Yousaf described the sanction as proportionate and said people should represent their constituents. But if you're a member of the SNP, elected on the SNP ticket, there is of course standing orders imposed on you that you have to abide as an SNP MSP. Yes, but you have to vote with your conscience. And if the SNP are imposing something that directly affects your constituency and would harm your constituency, then you vote against it because you've got to represent the people, not a party. And so he loses that. I don't think he cares. And we covered that yesterday. I think he would be quite happy going an independent route. I think what he should do is wait until 3 days before the conference and then resign as an MSP, force the by-election. Obviously, you get the by-election after the conference, but by doing it and announcing it just before conference, it shows the strength that he has got. And I think he would win as an independent. I really do. I think people, especially the people of Inverness, understand what a good representative he is for them. And I think that as an independent, he would stand and win. And that would send an absolute terrifying message to the SNP. Because nobody really would vote for an SNP member who would stand as an independent. Except maybe Fergus. Who knows? Anyway, I shall finish there. Come up and round off the video. So good luck to Fergus, whatever he decides to do. I have said, of course, before that I think he's one of the very few good politicians. There are a few of them. There's not many. But he's one. I think he's well respected and liked across the whole political spectrum. So I think, yeah, he should wait till 3 days before the conference, resign as an MSP, force the by-election, stand as an independent, go back in, and then sort of basically shove the finger up at Humza Yousaf, flip him the bird. And I think he could stay as an independent. I think Kate Forbes then would do the what's the word? Do the dirty, if you like, do the deed, stand up against as a leadership contender. She'd become leader, and Humza Yousaf would be out. And I think at that point, Fergus Ewing would come back in as deputy leader. Really think that. I think Kate Forbes would have him as deputy any day of the week. Anyway, that's all speculation. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and let's all hope that Fergus does the decent thing. He is a decent man, after all. Thank you. Bye.